welcome to today's live market profile and order flow trade analysis video by Tradeducation. We are at episode 219, and before I share today's analysis, I would just like to go through a quick disclaimer that trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Also, the information which I'm sharing is for educational purposes only and cannot be used for any trade related activity. So let me quickly share my screen and let's look at how the auction developed yesterday and are there any potential auction development paths for today. So first of all, this is the daily chart, and yesterday what I shared is we were in a 5-day balance, and clearly this is a rejection. So look above the balance and fail. So now the next destination is the lower edge of the balance. So we should see continuation to the lower side and try to tag the lower edge of the balance. So that is the overall auction path which I will be observing, and which should be taking place. So that is the odds. Or how the auction we should have a follow through. If we don't get a follow through, so let's say auction opens again around the balance high or within the mid of the balance, and if it continues higher, it means that we will be seeing more sharper up move. We'll be seeing more sharper up move, because those who would have tried to sold propositionally yesterday, they would have kept their stop losses above the all-time high of 13,140. Okay. Even this particular high is a psychological reference, the all-time high, because it's at a very round number. Okay. Plus, if you look at the market profile chart, so 1, 2, and yeah, so there are just two anomalies wherein the visual references where actual sellers came in. Okay. So these two levels are weaker, plus the high is at a psychological reference. Okay, so there are odds that the auction will be reversing. It will be reversing and trying to tag the high, all-time high. Okay, it won't happen today. Maybe what we would see is we would just see some sort of balancing activity, and then maybe next week is where we might see some option to be higher side. Okay. So let me just jump to the volume profile chart, and so if you see if you see the power of volume profile, where the auction, yesterday's auction stopped. Okay, this stopped at the B point. So this is the POC of the day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 5. Okay, so this is the 5-day balance, and this is where exactly, or around those levels where buyers again try to step in. So those who bought in this 3 to 4 days, they again step in, and now we should see some sort of knee-jerk reaction from the buyers. So what I mean by knee-jerk reaction is, if you see, even though a lot of massive selling, so if you study this candle, a lot of massive selling came in. Same way in the next candle also selling came in, but selling is getting absorbed. Okay, and now buyers, we are in the buying territory, and we should see continuation to the upside and try to tag maybe this particular first reference or the value area high of this balance, and then the all-time highs. Okay, so that's the overall concept which I would like to share. So let me just add these data points. I think it's not making any sense. I'll delete this. I'll continue, because this is anyways moved within the 5-day balance. Okay, so now this is the overall auction. Just a second. Okay, so it's not taking the immediate candle, but we are actually nearing the VPOC level. Okay, and if we study the profile structure, so we have one balance, we have second balance, this is the third balance. Okay, and we have one more fourth balance. Okay, so this entire zone, so from this to this will act as the level of support. Okay, and we need to observe. So we will be seeing some sort of rejection around this LVN and this LVN. Okay, so this is where so what I'm expecting is auction will reach higher. We will immediately bounce back and it will just balance today. Okay, so that's the overall understanding. What I would like to share. And so now this is the balance high. This reference I'll remove it, and this is the balance low. Okay. Uh, Let me also check the VSA chart, and so two HVNs have been tagged. So I'll remove the references so that there is no confusion. This reference also I'll remove. This was the half back reference. This is the high, and this reference is also one more HVN. So this reference also remove. Okay. So what we have is we have this high of 20th of November. Okay. So the high of 20th of November. So one immediate reference is the yesterday's low. Second reference is the low of 23rd of November. So two lows, high, then okay, this reference I'll remove, and then the poor high which has been clearly tagged, and high and high. Okay. Yeah, so these are all the references. So we have got one HVN here. So just a second, I'll bring that HVN. So we have one HVN here. We have got one more HVN here. And we have got one more HVN here. Okay, so these are the three levels. Again, I'm just adding more levels. Don't get bogged down, don't get confused. If you'd like to learn more about it, just go through my training, recorded training, which you will find in the YouTube description below. Okay, so let me just see where the auction is going to open. So flat opening 48 points. Today is 26th of November. So now the potential auction development paths which I'm seeing is the auction is going to open around this HVN. So we need to see the first auction path is we should see continuation to the higher side and tag the HVN. So this is the first auction development path. Second auction development path is we immediately find rejection and tag the low 1 and low 2. So it tags, and then we see some sort of buying activity coming in. So this is the second auction development path. And third auction development path is we're just developing around HVN. We tag the low, we tag the high, and we are just developing. Basically, we are just creating a balance. Okay. So these are the three auction development paths which I'm looking at. And the current time is 9:40. In the next 30 seconds, the auction will open. So let's see which way the auction opens, and based on that, we will take the trades. Also, I'll be keeping today's session a bit smaller because I got meetings from 9:30. So I think in next 10 minutes, I'll be ending the session for today. Okay, so auction opened around this single print zone. It is clearly getting rejected, and now we should see tagging the lows. So let me delete the auction development path. So one HVN, this is the second HVN. Okay, so I'll just shift this higher. This is the second HVN. Okay, and now we are also nearing one more HVN, this third HVN. So we are finding acceptance. It is so clearly continuous selling is seen. So we are seeing a follow through. Let me just jump to the volume profile chart, and now we are nearing the VPOP. So some sort of buying activity should be coming in. So let me delete this reference also. Or should I keep it? Because this is a balance. Yeah, let me just keep the reference. Okay. So some sort of buying activity will be stepping in. Let me jump to the order flow chart. So the high is the high. There are unfinished auctions around the low. So let the entire auction or let the entire first 5 minute candle be cleared. Overall delta is negative. 1700s contract or 1800 contracts have been traded. Delta is negative. So uh, let's see. So selling basically what I'm seeing is rejection around from the single print, acceptance from the balance here. Okay. So the immediate reference shifts to the HVN, and now we need to observe whether the HVN remains or whether we see continuation to the lower side. Okay. So today's high and low both are weaker, and we should be seeing tagging both the high and lows. Also today being the expiry day, so a lot of adjustment type of trades would be going on. Yeah. So let's just observe the auction development process. Good. Delta is negative. 3600 contracts traded with just 40 seconds before the current auction closes. So the low is getting tagged now. Let me jump to the again. Yeah, we are seeing. So this is an immediate reference, and we just need to observe what happens, what type of reaction we are getting. Okay, so the unfinished auctions around the lows has been cleared, and we just have to wait and watch whether momentum sellers are coming in or not. Okay, so again the low is getting tagged. So the first 5 minute auction is closed. 4100 contracts traded. Yeah, so not a good volume. But right now, what I'm expecting is there are stops. So whoever is trying to go long, they have kept their stop losses at here and here. So either wait for the low to be tagged because this is a multi-day low, 1 day and 2 day low. Again, buyers will be accepted, anticipating, and they will be trying to jump in. Okay, so I'm not seeing any trades for the moment. The high is weaker, so today I'll be looking to trade for the long side. But let's just wait and see whether the low of today or the low of today, the low of yesterday, and the low of 23rd of November is getting tagged or not. Okay, because this is where these are liquidity zones. This is where some sort of liquidity will come in and stop hunting will happen. So I'm just waiting for that stop hunting move. Okay, so momentum sellers are stepping in. So some stop hunting activity is going on. Okay, so let the low of yesterday be tagged. Okay, so if you see some sort of buying activity is coming in, so let's just wait for the auction to see whether it reaches also the low of yesterday. So I would say it's poor. So this low is poor. So the odds are higher that the low of yesterday will be tagged. Okay, so odds are higher that the low previous day low will be tagged. So let's just wait and watch. Currently, it looks like buying is happening. There is a good wick getting formed. Buyers are stepping in. So then we should observe some sort of rejection around the VWAP. Okay, so this is the 1 minute chart and the delta is going down, and we should see some rejection around the VWAP candle. Yeah. So let's see whether that happens or not. So good trade location is you can take a short trade, keeping a stop loss above VWAP. Targeting first target is today's low and second target is yesterday's low. Okay, this particular low. Okay, so the second auction has closed. 4,000 to 2,993, 3,000 contracts. Massive selling did came in. So let's see, let's observe, what are the delta numbers telling us. But selling pressure is there. So don't be in a position to take a long trade. Wait for this low and yesterday's low to be broken. Let some liquidity and some stop hunting activity be done. And after that, maybe you can go ahead and take the trade. Okay, so one trade which I have shared is going short, keeping your stop loss above the VWAP. targeting the today's low and yesterday's low. Okay, so ending with that, I'm just ending the session for today. And so the high of today is weaker. So let's see whether the high is getting tagged. And you do trade based on your risk appetite. Okay, so ending the session, and let's catch up again tomorrow and see how the option develops.